we think about this as a real revolution where we're building on an honest world. So it doesn't actually take, if you just think about why it feels like that, why it feels like most people aren't like us. Most people are a number go up, and many will be a number go up. And you also, some people will make decisions and sell all the Bitcoin and do really well for their families, and that's okay. They won't want spend the time and go to the next step. This is going to be a massively chaotic transition, because it has to be a massively chaotic transition to move from a system that we've lived in for 3,000 to 5,000 years that's always been exploitative to a cooperative one. Most of our minds can't grapple what that means.
Bitcoin just took Wall Street for the wildest ride of 2025. 1 minute it's crashing to 6-month lows, the next it's mooning past $83,000 like Elon Musk on a Twitter bender. But here's the shocker. This wasn't just market action, it was a coordinated financial revolution. Jeff Booth just exposed the truth in his latest interview that'll make your banker's hair stand on end. They've been printing money like Monopoly cash for decades, but Bitcoin just pulled the emergency brake on their scam. Every time Bitcoin tanks and rebounds, it's not volatility, it's the sound of the old system gasping for air. The elites are scrambling like rats on a sinking ship as they finally wake up to reality. Bitcoin isn't just some digital token, it's a full-scale financial revolution tearing down their corrupt empire one block at a time. Those so-called market corrections are just the sound of central bankers hyperventilating into their silk handkerchiefs as their monopoly crumbles before their eyes. Here's the mind-blowing reality. While you're watching price charts, Bitcoin is executing the most baller-hostile takeover in economic history. The Fed's money printer is jammed, the banks are sweating bullets, and Jeff Booth just handed us the ultimate truth bomb. They can print all the dollars they want, but they can't print more Bitcoin. Let's watch more clips from Jeff Booth's interview. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for additional in-depth content. Thanks for joining us again. Enjoy the video.
What do you mean by we are Bitcoin?
That's a pretty deep topic, and for Bitcoiners who spent a lot of time here, they'll know what I mean. But when you actively participate, run a node, spend in Bitcoin, you are the social layer that actually keeps that decentralized and secure. So when I watch the world centralizing and measuring Bitcoin and fiat and all of these things and all of these risks that they think about about Bitcoin, when the risk is really about them, what are they going to do? Because nobody can force you, because Bitcoin is decentralized and secure in the way that nodes are set up. You can actively participate in the honest system and expand the honest system with what you do, with what you choose to do. So I like to say that Bitcoin, understanding Bitcoin, or once you understand Bitcoin, if you choose the other system, it doesn't say anything about Bitcoin. It says something about you. And once you make that choice, and once you commit to that choice, like you're doing, like there's, you know all of the people. I could name them for, it would take me all this podcast to name all the people that are, whether Michael Seyr calls them cyber hornets, all of the fights and or a bunch of the fights about Bitcoin are in order to keep its essence, that we are it. This is the first time in human history that we've had a chance to have something decentralized and secure, and in other words, not live in an exploitive system, live in a competitive one, but cooperative for all of humanity. And it's such a big deal that, and I understand when I'm saying this, the vast majority of the world doesn't understand what I'm saying and will push back because they're of fear and their existing cognitive dissonance of what this is, what this state change looks like. But once you do understand it, you can be an active participant. That active participant in the network is the same thing that through the nodes, through the economic nodes, through the looking for attack vectors and being in front of those attack vectors way before they even happen, and building kind of freedom tech, all of those people, what you're doing, teaching other people, starting their journey down, all of those people become the network. And when I say we are Bitcoin, we are that social layer of Bitcoin is the thing that keeps it decentralized and secure. What is different here is because of the, you know this, many of your viewers do, some of your viewers might not, because of the way the mining is set up for rewards, and then how you can run a node and audit that system and hold them accountable for the open source software that you download, and you can check everything, and you can hold them accountable and audit that time chain every 10 minutes. And then you can spend in it, and you can increase the kind of economic nodes that are driving it in this. All of those things make you an active participant or not. If you buy Bitcoin on an exchange, and I'm not throwing sand or darkness or shade at somebody else that is doing that, because that might be their first step into the journey. But if you're buying it on an exchange and you're measuring it in US dollars, you're measuring Bitcoin from the system that's centralizing. So you're giving your power to the centralization, because, and you know, I've talked about this lots before, but if the natural state of the free market is deflation, then all prices should fall forever. Anything that's stuck, anything that creates extra margin, anything that feels like isn't abundant, will create a swarm of entrepreneurs attacking it with different ideas because of the margin opportunity. So there can't be any monopoly in a free market. Can't look like all of the view of people's world today is a reflection of the system we live in. And what a lot of people are scared of in Bitcoin is it just repeats that system. But it can't, as long as it stays decentralized and secure. When I say we are Bitcoin, once you understand that, you're never going, once you really understand that, I don't know very many people who've really understood this and then made a choice to go back to the dishonest system. And because that's what it would have to do. That's what I would have to do. I am not going back, no matter what. This is, and I know many people that aren't. And so on one side, people would say, well, what if Bitcoin goes to zero? Okay, then it goes to zero. But the only way it could go to zero is if everyone chose to go back.
Financial elites are scrambling in sheer panic as Bitcoin's unstoppable rise exposes their crumbling empire. This isn't just digital gold, it's a full-blown financial revolution, tearing down decades of monetary manipulation block by unforgiving block. Those violent price swings shaking the market? They're not random fluctuations. They're the death rattles of a corrupt system fighting for its last breath. Central bankers sweat behind closed doors as their control slips through their fingers. Every attempted market manipulation, every desperate regulation, only accelerates their downfall. Wall Street's tired tricks mean nothing now. Bitcoin operates beyond their reach, rewriting the rules of money itself. Their fear is palpable, their resistance futile. This is no longer speculation, it's systemic annihilation. The harder they fight, the more they prove Bitcoin's dominance. The old guard's time is up, their ivory towers are collapsing in real time. The revolution won't be televised, it'll be blockchain verified. Let's watch more clips from the interview.
Let's talk about some real potential risks to Bitcoin. And I would say that there's two major risks to Bitcoin that both of what I'm saying here solve. One would be quantum. At some point, you could say quantum is never going to happen, and that might be true, but I would say that that's more of an edge case now. That at some point, whether through what Microsoft's doing with hardware to be able to make and then software, we will likely get to quantum. Might be 10 years, might be 5 years, might be 20 years, might be never. But I think in something that's this profound, we should take the case that we will get there someday. And we should do the work to be able to make the protocol quantum resistant. How do you make the protocol quantum resistant? A whole bunch of people do the work to make sure the best solution is done, and that solution is fought with all of these people going through this consensus mechanism, and then you roll out a change. And who rolls out the change? The people that vote for the change that's in best interests of Bitcoin, the social layer. And we're doing at Ego Death, we're doing a lot of work on this right now, looking at all of the various different proposals. So you see, okay, there's a risk way out here, right? What should we actively participate in making sure that risk doesn't materialize? You can imagine there's a whole bunch of other people, not just Ego Death, a whole bunch of individuals, same as us, because of the social layer, that are doing the very same thing. What's another risk? Another risk is us. The risk is most people are measuring Bitcoin in the fiat instrument. And if they're measuring Bitcoin in the fiat instrument, they're actually contributing to the centralization. And they don't realize it, and they will get rich because Bitcoin will go up a lot in the fiat instrument. And they will probably trade their Bitcoin for the fiat instrument, and they will likely not run nodes. They will likely not be part of this. And at some point, that fiat system, which is an inflationary system, has to attack the honest one. Bitcoin isn't going up. Prices are falling against it. That is the free market. And Bitcoin is measuring the first global free market that's ever existed. So all of the others, why you see Trump today, and many people are giving that strength more strength, right? Elon Trump better than Biden and globalists. And well, that might be true kind of on the surface of it. Because you want to rip out all of the deep state and everything else. That whole infrastructure apparatus came as a result of a control system printing money. How could it change from that system? It just has to consolidate power to somebody else. Because when Elon rips out a whole bunch of the money, the GDP that is all waste today, you'll tip the world into an economic spiral, a deflationary spiral, because all of those people have jobs, and all of those people pay for other businesses, all their private businesses that also carry jobs. And as you do that, you'll see the natural state that was there all along, and you'll tip to a deflationary spiral. And the U.S. will have to print so much money. Why? And what you're seeing right now is you're seeing why they want Bitcoin is because they want to print into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin will go up a lot in that. But that system is an inflationary system. And that system, why they also need their security borders, and they need to potentially let go of Europe or Japan, and they have to control other countries. In Canada, us, or Greenland, or Panama. They have to have it has to be a control system. That control system has to centralize more and more. It has to, instead of in the world we've lived in the last 20 years, where you've had a control system, but it's felt like it's felt like a nice control system because of where you live, right? Now you're just seeing it for what it is. We are going to impose our military might, or you're going to do this, or you're not going to trade with us. That trade, because all humans do, we trade with each other to achieve more value. That's what the global free market looks like. So if you're going to distort that and stop that from happening through your financial instrument, there's going to be consequences. And those consequences are going to continually accrete, and there is no solve from that system. That inflationary system must be a control system. So that inflationary system has to sometime attack Bitcoin. How I would do it? So I would do exactly what's happening right now. I'd convince a whole bunch of people that I'm on side. I love this technology. It's the best thing ever. You can trust Uncle Sam with it. You can trust us. We're going to do the right thing. You can trust Coinbase with your coins. You could do all of this. And then as more and more people did this, and more of the economic nodes the transmission of this was on top of this. I sure wouldn't make the attack anytime soon. But as that happened and more people were transacting on my system.
The recent turbulence in Bitcoin's market, with price fluctuations dipping below $75,000 and rising above $83,000, reflects the broader challenges and opportunities that Bitcoin faces in its journey toward widespread acceptance. As Bitcoin moves through key resistance zones, including $84,000 and $96,000, it has become clear that these price levels serve as both support and barriers, influencing Bitcoin's market trajectory. The realized price metric, which tracks the average price at which Bitcoin was last moved on-chain, highlights the pivotal role these zones play in determining Bitcoin's price direction. A breakthrough past these resistance points could signal a sustained bull run, potentially propelling Bitcoin to as high as $130,000. Jeff Booth's perspective resonates with these market dynamics, emphasizing Bitcoin's potential to challenge the existing financial paradigm. He argues that Bitcoin isn't merely a new asset class, but a movement towards an honest system of money, where power isn't concentrated in the hands of a few, but is decentralized among all participants. This idea aligns with Bitcoin's push against traditional financial structures, where the system is designed to extract value. If Bitcoin can surpass these resistance points and continue its upward trajectory, it would not only signal the success of Bitcoin as an asset, but also reflect the broader societal shift towards decentralization and value earned through cooperation, not coercion. Thus, Bitcoin's market resistance zones and its philosophical implications, as Booth suggests, mirror the critical juncture at which Bitcoin finds itself today, a catalyst for a profound and inevitable shift in how we view money, power, and trust. As we wrap up, what do you believe is the greatest threat to Bitcoin's success, external forces, or internal adoption challenges? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.